Imagine you are carrying a backpack full of heavy and beautiful stones. Each stone is a story, a feeling, a piece of your secret, inner world. You walk through your life, surrounded by the people you know, your family, your friends, your colleagues, and you never open the bag. You have learned, for one reason or another, that these people do not have the space or the safety for your stones. So you keep the bag zipped shut, and you carry the weight alone. Then, one day, you are sitting on a park bench next to a stranger. Or you are talking to a barista. Or the person next to you on a plane. And you feel a strange and powerful urge. And in a rush of frantic, unfiltered energy, you open the bag and you empty the entire contents at their feet. You show them every stone, every story, every secret. And for a moment, it feels like a release. But then, you walk away. And you are flooded with a hot, sickening wave of shame. A vulnerability hangover. Why did I do that? Why did I tell them all of that? What is wrong with me? If you know this feeling, this compulsive urge to overshare with people you barely know, then you know the profound loneliness of this cycle. Today, we are going to talk about the secret reason for this. Because you are not oversharing because you are dramatic, or attention-seeking, or lack social skills. You are oversharing because a fundamental and deeply wounded part of you is starving. You are starving to be seen. You are starving to be heard. And you are starving to be validated. Let's reframe this. Your oversharing is not a character flaw. It is a desperate and deeply intelligent attempt to meet a core human need that was not met in your past. It is a trauma response, born from an environment that taught you that your story was not safe to be told in the places it should have been. This is a story that almost always begins in childhood. Sometimes, it is born in the home of emotional neglect. As a child, you had a rich and complex and valid inner world. You had stories and feelings and fears. But when you tried to share them with your caregivers, you were met with a void. A blank stare. A change of subject. A parent who was too busy, too stressed, or too disconnected to listen. You learned a devastating lesson. My inner world is not important to the people I am closest to. No one is listening. So you arrive in adulthood with a lifetime of unheard stories, a backpack full of stones you've never been able to show anyone. The urge to overshare with a stranger is the cry of that unheard child, who will now offer their precious stones to anyone who will simply stop and look. Sometimes, this is learned in the critical or judgmental home. In this environment, sharing your authentic self was not just ignored, it was dangerous. Your feelings were mocked. Your opinions were ridiculed. Your vulnerability was used as ammunition against you later. You learned that the people you are closest to, the people who are supposed to be safe, are not. So a stranger, a person with no history, no context, and no power over your life, paradoxically feels much safer. You can empty the bag at their feet because you know they cannot weaponize your stones against you tomorrow. It is a desperate and logical search for a non-judgmental witness. And sometimes, it is born from the performance of a role. You were the strong one, the funny one, the perfect one. You were loved for the mask you wore, for the role you played. There was no space for your messy, authentic, struggling self. Oversharing with a stranger is a profound act of rebellion against this performance. It is a moment where you are desperately trying to show someone, anyone, the real person who is suffocating underneath the mask. You are saying, "This is not who I am. Please, for just a moment, see the real me." So what are you really looking for in these moments? When you overshare, you are not just dumping information. You are asking a question. You are seeking a need. Your oversharing is often a plea for validation. You are not just telling your story. You are asking, "Am I crazy for feeling this way? Is this as painful as it feels?" You are looking for a pair of human eyes to reflect back to you that your reality is real. It is also a profound bid for connection. The deepest fear of a wounded person is that their true, messy, wounded self is unlovable. So you offer it up to a stranger as a test. You are saying, "Here it is. The ugliest, most painful parts of me. Can you see this and not run away? If they listen, if they nod, if they show a moment of compassion, it is a tiny piece of evidence that maybe, just maybe, you are not too much to be loved. And finally, it is a cry for release. It is exhausting, carrying that backpack of stones alone, every single day. Oversharing is an attempt to put the bag down, even for a moment. It is a release of the pressure, of the secrets, of the weight you have been carrying in silence. So how do we begin to heal this pattern? How do we learn to share our sacred stories in a way that leads to connection, not shame? The goal is not to shut down and vow to never share again. That only reinforces the original wound. The goal is to become a wise and discerning curator of your own story. The first step is to acknowledge the hunger with compassion. The next time you feel that frantic, impulsive urge to overshare with a stranger, pause. Place a hand on your heart. And name the feeling. Ah, this is that part of me that is starving to be seen. I see you. I know you just want to be heard. You are meeting your own desperation with kindness, not with judgment. The second step is to practice sharing the trailer, not the whole movie. Your story is a 2-hour epic film. A stranger on a bus does not have the capacity to watch the whole thing. So, practice sharing just the trailer. A small, less vulnerable, edited piece of your experience. I've been going through a tough time lately. And then pause. See how they respond. Do they lean in with empathy? Or do they look uncomfortable and change the subject? Their response is a piece of data. It will tell you if they are a safe person with whom you can share another scene of the movie. You are learning to test the waters, instead of diving headfirst into an empty pool. The third, and most important step, is to become the witness you have always been looking for. The ultimate healing from this pattern comes from giving the child inside you the attentive, compassionate audience they never had. And that audience is you. This is the work of journaling, of speaking your feelings out loud to yourself, of therapy. You must create a sacred, daily practice of letting your inner self empty the entire bag of stones, just for you. You must listen to your own stories with the same compassion you would offer a friend. When you feel fully and completely heard by yourself, the desperate, starving need to be heard by everyone begins to soften. And finally, you can begin to consciously curate your audience. Your story, your stones, are precious and sacred. They do not belong on the floor of a public square. They belong in the hands of a trusted few. Intentionally cultivate a small circle of people, friends, a partner, a therapist, who have proven, over time, that they are safe. People who know how to hold your stones with reverence, who will not drop them, who will not use them against you. This is where you can finally, safely, unpack the entire bag. Your urge to overshare is not a sign of your brokenness. It is a testament to the profound importance of your story, and your beautiful, resilient, and deeply human need to be heard. The journey is about learning that your story is a treasure, and learning to share it not with just anyone on the street, but with those who have earned the right to enter your sacred, inner museum. If this video was helpful for you, please show your support by clicking the like button. To continue this journey of healing, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. And if you know someone who feels shame for their own story, please share this video. It might be the moment they realize their voice is worthy of being heard. Thank you for watching. Your story matters.